You in good hands.
Oops, sorry, y'all.
So let's see. Okay, 1 second. I will. Okay. All good. And of course.
Right, this is really hard to do.
Why is this always? Yeah. There we go. All right, here we go. Everyone can see okay? I mean, from your side, Erin, as well as everybody else?
Yes, I just need to.
Great. I always like to start off with kind of giving the very short history of the Community Works Women's Business Center and who we are here. So thank you again for having us, and thank you for being committed to help entrepreneurs and founders in this way. We very much appreciate your work and the work that you're doing in Greenwood. We are the Community Work, or by we, I mean the Universal Community Works Women's Business Center. The Women's Business Center is, like SCORE, an SBA resource partner. We're partially funded by the SBA and part of Community Works, a nonprofit loan funder, which we'll hear all about in just a few. The Women's Business Center is one of 3 in South Carolina. The Community Works Women's Business Center is one of 3 in South Carolina. One in Columbia at Benedict College. There's also one in North Charleston at the I Hope Foundation. And then, of course, us at Community Works, we cover 15 counties in the upstate, and I don't think they're all technically in the upstate. I think some might be creeping towards the Midlands area. So, but we are a part of, we cover everywhere from Greenville to Edgefield to Abbeville to we're in Greenwood as well. So we definitely work with clients in that area and would love for you to send anyone our way. And I will tell you who we are. This is more about Community Works, which I'm going to skip since you'll hear a little bit more about that. But we are called a Women's Business Center, the Community Works Women's Business Center, but we don't necessarily just work with women, but we do design our programs to help women who are at every stage of their business. So they might be in that beginning stage and that, or rather, let's go all the way back. They might be in that idea phase, thinking of what's next. Do I want to start a business? Do I have time to start a business? We see those clients. We also see, of course, women in the startup phase, women and men in startup phase, who are trying to figure out what they need to do, that nothing is left, no item is left unchecked on their checklist. We also see business owners who are in a growth phase. They might be starting to put in HR practices, need help with tax questions, need help with payroll. So we also see folks who are ready to maybe close and are trying to decide next steps there. So we do see business owners at every level. But how do we provide help? We provide that mostly through one-on-one coaching and counseling. Not quite the mentorship program that SCORE has, but we start with a discovery session where we get to know each client. And then we send them to the next step, whether that is a coaching of four coaching sessions with our business coach, whether that is one of our many training and education offerings that we have at the Women's Business Center, or whether that's equipping them with some tools that we may have here, including business planning software, business planning templates, all sort of financial document help. And that is what we have internally, but we also try to stay really in tune and with help like people like Erin and the top on what is going on in the entrepreneurial ecosystem and how we can connect people where it might best fit where they are in their business journey. So sometimes that might not be us, sometimes that might be a partner, and we very much try to make sure to stay in the know so that we can connect folks with the proper resource. So you've got me. I'm the Women's Business Center Program Director. I never introduced myself, so I apologize for that. I'm Ana Parra. I have been here since we launched the program in September of 2020, and have just really enjoyed getting to know all the different business owners. I'm sure as you all are part of this community, and it's just a really impressive group of folks who are creative and passionate about what they do. And then we've got Sarah Carter, our program coordinator. She sees most of our clients in their discovery session experience. So I will share a little bit about how you do that, and also allow make sure I have enough time for questions since I do have to hop off. But we do start, like I said, everyone with the discovery session. You can sign up for a discovery session via our website, and that's the Community Works website, communityworkscarolina.org. We schedule that half-hour session where folks get an opportunity to tell us more about themselves. So we get an opportunity to tell them more about what we offer, and then we can continue and see how best to serve them and where they are in their business journey. And then I also wanted to give you, before going into it, a little bit of an idea of what something we've really tried to work on this in our 2-year history has been the education offerings that we have, what we have found for most of our clients. While we do see folks in the growth and in the growth stage, we primarily see a lot of folks who need help with that startup phase, whether they are in the growth phase or not. They need help with a lot of the foundational level work that goes in starting a business. So we've tailored a lot of our programming, our webinar training and education around those ideas, mainly in finance and marketing, and some other supportive services. So we have a robust calendar of offerings, some that we offer monthly through virtually, some that we offer in-person workshops as well. So we're trying to do a hybrid of both, since some folks are ready to meet in person. And as we know, there's a lot that you can get out of that experience. But also because we serve such a large area, we want to make sure we can include and make accessible for not just the geographic area, but also the clients that we have that have full-time jobs, who are also caregivers. So we do keep some of our offerings virtual, as well as we have found that creates a whole other medium of accessibility for folks. So just wanted to give you all some examples of what those offerings are. We have a two-course workshop coming up called Doing Business with Intention. I love this line, but where our instructor will work on demystifying bank statements and creating an income statement, sort of basic building blocks that folks need for their businesses. But we have found a lot of clients need some extra help in that area, in the financial area. So we're starting with those basics. That one is an in-person offering that we have coming up this week and next week. So we'll start there. We offered Doing Business 1.0 earlier this year, where folks just really started with the mindset that they needed to make sure they're thinking about record keeping and financials as they are working on their business plan and on their vision for their business. We also have a monthly Finding the Funds, Access to Capital. This one's a popular one, of course. People want to talk more about how they can access funds. We focus on different avenues at each month. And so this is a webinar that we offer the fourth Thursday of every month during the day. And folks can hear a little bit about the different products that we might have here at Community Works. They can also hear about our partners who might have some different opportunities for access to capital. But we try to make sure that we give people that opportunity, because of course, this is one of the questions that comes up often from business owners: how can we access capital?
Great. Anna, that is.
I'll stop.
Well, I was gonna say that, yeah, I know all these things, and I'm already filled up with information.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
No, that's okay. Between you and Marjorie, there's so many wonderful things out there. Are there any questions? Do y'all have any questions? So okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you ever see any overlap with organizations with what you're doing? I mean,
yeah, I can speak to that. So oftentimes we do. So we do have clients who might have a SCORE mentor who, it's all about kind of, they're building that support team, and they're looking for, especially I think with women, they're looking at resources and looking at every resources that might be available, and seeing what might work best with the schedule, or what opportunities are there. And because SCORE and SBDC, because they are partners and we stay in touch in different ways, they might refer, we might have some referrals that come over from SBDC, their friends, of course, and then we might refer them over. For example, we have some clients that we meet with SBDC on market analysis because they have a really great market analysis tool. So there is definitely overlap. And I think that's what the question was.
Yeah, very much so.
For sure. So we feel like it's, for most of our clients, I mean, it's a lack of that foundational information that they really need, and they need. Oh, and I will say a special shout out to Esgy because she has come and spoken at our. We have a micro entrepreneur training that's a 10-week training for startup businesses, and she has come and spoken to those classes, and we so appreciate her and has been invaluable there. So we definitely cross-pollinate often.
Good. And today you will see the SBDC background and behind quite a few of our speakers today, but everyone has some connection to the Small Business Administration, except I guess Community Works, but then they house Women's Business Center. So today is I don't want to say the government help, but it's these are the folks who come to work every day whose job is to help make sure our founders are getting the tools and resources they need to start and grow their businesses. Good. All right. Any other questions? Good. Anna.
Thank you.
Very much.
I will put a link to our calendar of events so that you will have that information as well as our sign up. So
great. Thank you, Anna. All right. So next is Tammy.
Hey, everyone. Good afternoon. So I do have a few slides to share if you don't mind. And then, of course, Erin, we can make these PowerPoints available to you via a SharePoint link or something so that you can share this with folks as well. So I will just let me know when my screen is actually showing. So that's always the problem, right? Is like, am I actually showing? So yes. So I'm very fortunate to work with Anna Para on our team who joined Community Works in 2020. I also joined Community Works in 2020. I'm the CEO there. I see some folks from Greenwood. We had a whole group of Greenwood friends come to Spartanburg last week. So this must be your guys' upstate tour and resource development week, right, Laura?
Yeah.
So it's great to see you again, even virtually. So again, and Anna kind of gave you an overview of the Women's Business Center. I'm going to tell you a little bit just about who Community Works is, because although we are an SBA lender, so we're another SBA partner, as Erin mentioned, we are also a U.S. Treasury certified community development financial institution. So that's a mouthful. We use the word CDFI. And our goal is that we're a nonprofit lender. And so again, historical barriers with traditional banking institutions or credit unions that a lot of our clients may face, we're able to do a lot more innovative, different types of programming. And many times, in particular with startup businesses or entrepreneurs, we're able to focus on resources that maybe financial institutions would not be able to offer. And we're mission-based, so we're focused on a small business, entrepreneurship, and affordable housing. And ultimately, our goal is to really support LMI communities, and in particular, people in communities of color. As we know, just the historical and institutional barriers of access to credit has been over the years. That's sort of our core focus in a variety of ways. And so I'm just going to kind of briefly go. These are all of our products. I wanted to share this because I also heard that we've got somebody there who does community economic development. And so it's also related to economic development, which is related to small business. And it's all one kind of holistic approach. So we also lend for affordable housing and community facilities, which in many cases could be quite interesting. Like we might be financing the redevelopment of an old mill. It's going to have housing in it, and it's also going to have entrepreneurs in it, or it might even have a nonprofit organization in it. So we focus on anything that's going to create community economic development. We also provide loans to nonprofits. So nonprofits that are looking for working capital or need support to do the work that they do. That could be early child care center. It could be an affordable housing provider. It's lots of different things. So again, In our small business world, we do everything, which is really exciting. We did some downstream products this year, from $900 to $5,000, which are sort of startup capacity building loans. And the credit builder loan is really to help entrepreneurs build business credit. So a lot of times we know that those sole entrepreneurs or those LLCs that are just starting out, they've got everything commingled together. They maybe have personal credit, but they don't have business credit. And so the goal here is to really start building credit opportunities for entrepreneurs as well. And then our microloan program, it is the SBA microloan program. So you may hear about that, up to $50,000. But we also have other funds that are available that are somewhat more flexible, where we can do some of these creative products. And then we also do larger loans. We are a 7A Community Advantage lender, which allows us to do some larger loans backed by SBA. But we also have our own loan pool that we can finance, facilities and working capital in larger amounts of capital. You heard about the Women's Business Center. So everything we do is with wraparound technical assistance and services. So everything we do has some sort of coaching component. You heard about our Women's Business Center. We also, once you get a loan with us, we have 2 coaches that are on staff that are your coach for the life of your loan. So again, we want to make sure that you're not only successful with getting that access to capital, but you can maintain those payments. And then also we hope that you grow into larger lending institutions and to grow your business. We do a lot of personal financial coaching, again, and as well as business personal financial coaching. And then we also provide down payment assistance. So we work, and I'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. You heard about the Women's Business Center, so I can pass that up. I'm going to send you this document, because this really goes into detail of everything that's required to get a loan from Community Works, depending on if you're at the $900 credit builder loan, which is a super easy loan to get with us. It's like a secured savings, basically, and we report to all 3 credit bureaus, so that way you can start to build that credit, all the way up to our $250,000 loans. And so I'll make sure you guys have a copy of this so you can make those referrals. In addition, I mentioned that we do affordable housing. So we will lend up to $1 million in an affordable housing project, everything from pre-development, early stage capital, all the way to gap financing. But one of the things I wanted to share with you here is our line of credit. So we have seen a lot of small developers, in particular small Black developers, that are interested in building affordable housing in neighborhoods, in particular maybe neighborhoods that they're from. And they've had difficulty getting access to capital through a financial institution. And so we have created a line of credit product for small developers who are trying to build affordable housing, like 1 or 2 houses at a time, or acquiring vacant abandoned houses and trying to turn them into affordable housing. They're still for profit. They're still, a business, but they're really also providing affordable housing. I think that's really helpful. And so this is our community loan product. And again, we go up to $1 million on community facilities. And then our working capital loan for nonprofits. And again, we'll give you more of these details. Our home buyer assistance program, I want to share this with you, especially since there's community development people in the room. We work a lot with the hospital systems to provide down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. It's an employee benefit for the hospital system and a recruitment and retention opportunity, at the same time providing first-time home ownership in communities that we care about. So I know Greenwood was just up in Spartanburg. Laura, you may remember we talked about Spartanburg Regional Hospital launched a program like this, and we work with a lot of partners on wealth building and asset building. So I will pause there because I know that's a lot, and you can, and I'll stop sharing. Are there any questions? And again, I know that's a lot. And there's also our website, as Anna mentioned, where we keep a lot of this information on how to enter into our programs.
Excellent. Questions, y'all? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking earlier about where to get money, and
yes,
you certainly have covered a lot of it. And there are very few other organizations. Well, actually, Tammy, who else does microloans?
So we're the only SBA micro lender in the upstate right now. There's also the Climb Fund. They're actually based in Charleston. They're the old LDC. They were birthed out of the city of Charleston. And then there's also the Beaufort Black Chamber. They also do micro lendings, but between us and the Climb Fund, we're the two largest micro lenders through the SBA program. We're the only nonprofit community advantage 7A lender. So we're the only CDFI that does that type of lending. And because of that, we actually did $8.9 million in PPP loans. Those of you that may have received a PPP loan or know people that did, we were very heavily involved in that COVID relief program through that program. But not all CDFIs like us do affordable housing community lending as well as small business lending. So we do both. And so that's really helpful, especially if you're talking about community economic development.
Very good. Go ahead.
Are your loans offered to home business type people that don't have
Yeah, like consulting firms that are in their house, that kind of thing,
or just a home business like cookies or a baking business trying to get to the next level?
Absolutely. Yeah. So no, we're basically underwriting the individual, in that instance, they're going to be a personal guarantor. They probably don't have any collateral, right? So we're really just underwriting their business and their cash flow. For us, so our credit, we don't look at credit score. We've lent to people that have 580 credit scores. We're looking at global cash flow. At the end of the day, if they get a loan from us, can they pay us back? And we also don't put a lot of weight on collateral, in particular with our micro loan program. If we get a bunch of hair supplies, that's great at the end of the day, but really we're just underwriting that individual and their business plan, which we work with SCORE and this BDC on, as well as the global cash flow. So we're very flexible when it comes to collateral and credit score.
Good. And I know that Anna went over where to find the information for the Women's Business Center, but if someone's looking for a loan, what's the best path in?
Yeah, so it's the same, CommunityWorks, carolina.org. And if you go to our website, you go under lending. It'll show all of our lending products. And we do a small for businesses, we do a small eligibility quiz just to sort of see where they are. Because we don't want people to start a whole application and not understand that they need to have a lot of different materials available to them to prepare for that application. So we do that on the front end. And then we also, again, you can schedule a consultation. I know Paul Schmidt on our team, he's our director of lending, I think has come down and done some presentations and worked with SCORE there, as well as the Small Business Development Center there. So, but our website is the first stop for people to see because people, they always apply for the most times they say, oh, I think I need 50,000. And really when we actually start working with our loan officers, realize that they only maybe need 30 right now, or sometimes even only 10 just to get started. So we really like them to set up an appointment with us.
What's the typical interest rate and payback time period?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. And it is in that the slide deck I shared with you, but we usually are looking at, depending on the product, up to 8.25, 8 3/4 fixed rates on our micro business loans, and up to 9.5 on some of our small express loans, which are like 5,000 to 10,000. Our credit builder and our capacity builder products right now are at 2% fixed because we got some grant money. So if you're just you're really at the startup phase and you're really just trying to build the business, we've got some interesting products that are up to 2 years, but most of our loans are up to 5 years. Our larger loans that are real estate secured can go up to 10 years, depending on SBA approval. And the housing ones are totally different. So that's a whole nother conversation, but that helps you understand kind of the business terms.
Very good. Other questions?
Yeah, but we are super transparent. So that this PowerPoint will show you exactly what the interest rates are, origination fees, any recourse, if there's a guarantee required, all that. So when you get this from Aaron, you'll be able to see all that.
Very good. All right. So Tammy, thank you very much. This is more great information. Ben Calhoun, you're up next, but let me see if anybody needs to take a break. Y'all ready? Y'all want to keep going? All right. So Tammy, thank you and have a great afternoon. Ben Calhoun, it's so nice to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to see you. Aaron, and as I kind of look around this room, it's almost like a Greenwood reunion. I think we've worked with just about everybody in the room at one time or another. So good to see you guys. If you notice, I switched my background once I realized that we got Steve and Kay and Laura. I didn't think they'd object to a Clemson background. Not sure about where Rusty's loyalties lie, but figured I'd do that just for that group. Well, Aaron, I do want to just thank you for putting this together. I think the group that you've got together there in Greenwood, there really couldn't be a better group of folks that really are committed to that community and care about it. Y'all know it holds a near and dear place in my heart, even though I've moved over the last couple of months to take this position here in Clemson. Greenwood still is kind of a home for me. So appreciate you putting everybody together. And again, the group that we've got there, we've got Kay, who's been on our advisory board there in Greenwood. Laura recently joined. Rusty helped us put together a big SBA event there. Steve was our Rural Small Business Person of the Year from Greenwood. I think that's the first time we've had a candidate win that award. And just really good group. We worked with Lander University too on some programs over there with the marketing department. Dr. Raines has helped us put together a business college connection program that we're really proud of. So a lot of good work being done in Greenwood. Good to see you guys. Just wanted to mention, kind of echo what some of the other speakers have already said. And my personal philosophy whenever we're working with clients is that these other services that are on the call today, especially Marjorie with SCORE, Women's Business Center, Community Works, all great partners. There's can't be too many mentors available for people that need the help. So I truly believe there's wisdom in a multitude of counselors. I'm glad to see that this group that we're talking to today is committed to be more boots on the ground for us, because there can't be too much mentorship or too much advice. And I'm going to reserve the majority of my time, since I know most of the folks in the room, for a couple of my colleagues that are going to talk about some new programs that are available through the SBDC. We've got Marco, we've got Izzy, and David is a part of our community navigators program there. But just in a nutshell, really the best description that I give a client for somebody that's coming on board with us of what our role is in the process is that we want to be like the navigation system for their business. So initial session would typically be us talking about where they're trying to go. And that in essence is them setting the destination for our trip and our work together. And then I'll come back based on the goals that they tell me that they're trying to achieve, and we'll say, based on where you tell us you're trying to go, here's the quickest way to get there. This is the safest route to take, and then here's what you can expect along the way. I think Tammy made reference, and Anna as well, to some of the tools that we have available for the entrepreneurs that we work with, business planning templates. We can pull a lot of direct market research to help them if they're evaluating between two different markets that they're interested in, or even if they're getting down into the details. And Izzy, I don't want to steal your thunder, but they do a lot of that work for us now. We've got some extra consulting capacity that comes through our student consulting center now. And Aaron, I saw that you mentioned in your question, kind of prep for this, is what is an ideal founder that we would like to work with. And just like SCORE and some of the other resources that are there to help people at any stage, really our sweet spot are those established growth-minded businesses. So if they're looking to open a second location and maybe need help putting together a loan proposal, or if they're interested in franchising, Steve is a serial entrepreneur down there, and we were at an event, the Brew, the other week, and Steve, I'm still kind of addicted to throwing that axe. I want to do more of that.
About a week.
You got people like Steve that open multiple businesses and just need somebody to kind of bounce ideas off of. That's really what we pride ourselves in being, is that objective advice, objective feedback to entrepreneurs that need that type of help. If you think about it, just your entrepreneurship is lonely. And I think the couple business owners in the room can nod their heads and agree to that. So sometimes it's just great to have somebody that you can bounce an idea off of, that you know is not trying to sell you something or keep you around as a client forever. We want to see what's in the best interest for the goals our clients are trying to achieve. So in its simplest form, Aaron, and I think most of the folks that we work with know this, is that we just want to be that navigation system, help people gather information and make the decisions that will help them reach their goals and help their businesses be successful is our primary goal. Couple things to mention as far as entry points. Just like Marjorie mentioned earlier, COVID taught us that we could be much more efficient in our workshops and our training sessions if we do that virtually. So we also have put together a library. You've got somebody that's in the early stages, just exploring, trying to figure out if entrepreneurship is right for them. That's a really good place for them to start. And then the core of where we make our biggest impact is that one-on-one consulting. Somebody comes through, meets with one of our consultants and talks directly about what their goals are. That's the other main piece of what we try to do. So with that being said, thank you for the opportunity to kind of see everybody again, and we'll open the floor for questions.
Questions? Well, I have the burning one.
Okay.
I heard this morning who's replacing you.
Yeah, I haven't heard either.
No, well,
We haven't made that public yet. Don't spoil my surprise. We got some advisory board members that we're gonna do that during our August meeting. So we'll formally announce my replacement, but I think y'all will be happy with who's coming.
Maybe we just wait till August?
Maybe not, maybe not. They officially are supposed to start on July the 1st, but
Send them an email.
Yeah, we'll take an email.
don't tell them, Aaron.
I don't know. I actually forgot the name. I mean, but the person who was telling me said, "Oh, you've met this person," and I'm like, probably virtually. But I know where this person comes from and some of their plans already. So that's good. Yeah.
Aaron, I forgot to mention, but Aaron was our state award winner of the Partner of Distinction for the SBDC. So we really appreciate her work in promoting and advocating on behalf of the SBDC. So thank you.
Well, thank y'all for the recognition. It was quite a surprise. I think that any other questions for Ben? Ben, succinct and to the as always. So thank you very much. So if y'all don't mind, y'all can take a break. How y'all feeling about a break?
I think about that, right?
Yes. So can y'all, so Marco and Izzy, do y'all mind like about 5 minutes for us to take a break?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna turn the recording off. So y'all say whatever you want. While we're
Yeah.
So-
That's just, I ate it for it.